wrestling card collectors, welcome to another edition of WTCtv. Today I've got Rich. Rich, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good. And why do we have you on? Well, we have you on because I found out that you are a serious collector of Japanese wrestling cards. Is that true?
That is true. Fact.
It's fact. 100% fact. What's the interest? Why? I mean, what do you got against U.S. cards, man?
Nothing. I like the U.S. cards too. I just like the chase. I like the how would I put it? I guess I like the investment of time looking and trying to find something that catches my eye that I know nobody else has probably got around here.
Where is around here for you?
Just outside of Chicago and Indiana, right on Lake Michigan.
Excellent. I get out there once in a while, like usually about once a year.
Nice. It's a little cold right now. It's only like 50 degrees, so.
It's a chilly 83 for me right now. So it's which is pretty cold for Phoenix. But so the interest in, like, you know, a lot of guys out here, they either are WWE fans or now AEW fans or going after WCW stuff. And you're starting to see more and more people these days kind of chasing after these Japanese sets because they're finding a lot of these guys who are, you know, becoming names now, like your Nick Gages and stuff like that.
Yep.
Their first cards are in Japanese card sets.
Yes.
So is that part of the allure for you?
So my allure started, my original like collecting for the Japanese autographs were the people that I either knew watching as a kid or people that I knew watching as I got older. And then when I realized they had autographs, it was mind blowing. Like, I had never seen these in the States. Nothing. So I was like, okay, let's get the chase going here.
Well, you know, they are Japanese card sets. It's going to be hard to find them.
Yeah, well, of course. And then, you know, going through, you know, trying to translate, you know, you see pictures online and then you're like, is that card available? Is it just a picture? It's a little work, but when the package arrives, you know, couple, you know, 2-3 weeks later and you're opening up, you're like, oh, okay, I got an autograph now. That's pretty cool.
So when did you first start collecting Japanese cards?
Probably about 4 years ago.
Okay. So pretty new.
Yes. So like my basic background for Japanese was when I was a kid. I don't know if you remember the show. It was like the Pro Wrestling Weekly with Gordon Soley. And
yep.
That television show, they would always have highlights of Japanese wrestlers. And so that was like my first introduction into it. So that's where I learned about Tatsumi Fujinami, Riki Choshu. Antonio Inoki was always a name everybody knew. Sure. Because, yeah. But when I saw those guys, I was like, okay. And then as I started collecting, I was like, I remember these guys, like, I want to see if they have anything. And when I found out, like, oh, they actually have packed inserts of autographs, I'm like, no way, this is pretty cool. So I started doing a little searching and I was able to find them. Got them, you know, shipped to me, and that's a process in itself sometimes. Yeah. And it just started from there. And then I was like, okay, let's keep this going. So, you know, the new crop of wrestling, I really got into it with New Japan when basically Okada started becoming a really big star there. That's what drew me to New Japan. Just started watching it. Okada was becoming the star that, you know, everybody, oh, he's going to be the next champ. He's going to be the next champ, you know, goes for the big one. He loses, you know, it's like the big high and then it's, the big low. Yeah, it piqued my interest. So you start seeing other wrestlers and you start seeing the American wrestlers that are over there wrestling. And it's like, okay, let's pick this up and see what's going on. Who's got cards. Yeah, it just evolved from there to where I'm just.
So only 4 years. It seems really, really
narrow.
recent. Like, yeah, really recent.
Yeah.
Oh, my wife's coming in here bringing me some food. Thank you, honey.
That's awesome.
First time I ever been delivered food right in the middle of an interview. It's awesome. I like it. Now that's service. So what was the first set you added to your collection?
The first actual Japanese set was
Correct.
probably the 1995 BBM Pro Wrestling set, which is considered like the modern day, like the 89 Upper Deck baseball set, but
Nice.
for Japan wrestling.
Why is that?
That basically because a lot of guys and girls did not have cards, basically from the early 80s to that mid 90 point. There's no cards for them. So we've got rookie cards in there of a who's who of wrestling. Eddie Guerrero's got his first rookie card in there as the Black Tiger. Chris Benoit,
Pegasus Kid.
Yeah, Pegasus Kid. His rookie cards in there. Jushin Thunder Liger's cards in there, but he had that WCW magazine card. So is it his first card or is it, yeah, it's up for debate.
We have this conversation all the time.
Yeah. Hayabusa's for, rookie cards in there. I mean, the list goes on. Mike Awesome, ECW guy. Yeah. The Gladiator, as he was called.
Yep.
Yes. That checklist is pretty stacked with rookies for a lot of wrestlers.
Interesting. Now, do you collected wrestling cards before you started collecting Japanese cards? No?
I did. Yeah, I did have tops, WWF, WWE cards with the Flair, WCW. Not heavily, but I had them. I mean, nothing exciting where I'm not cashing in today for them. Yeah. That's for sure.
Are you a set, just a base set collector, or do you go after chase, autographs, everything, or completist?
I try to do the base sets for sure. I try to go after the inserts if they're somewhat available. Autographs and memorabilia are really hard and sometimes non-existent, depending on who's in the set.
Well, we were talking a bit off air. It's like that Stardom set, that 5th anniversary Stardom set. And then you were mentioning about a card set that you got, and like, I bought like probably 25 packs and pulled like 30 autograph cards. Yeah. It was like, I mean, they were just inserting like a lot of good high, chasing those things.
They got tired towards the end of there. Like, just get rid of them. Put a bunch in there.
That Stardom, like I think I told you, I opened 38 packs. And I probably had close to that many autographs. I mean, I had a couple dud packs, but sometimes I even pulled 2 autographs out of a pack.
Yeah, they stacked them there last year. It's a shame because everybody wants those cards now, and we still wish they'd make cards, but they don't make them. So it's a lost market. They definitely can make some money.
How many Japanese card sets do you think? Because I mean, I'm kind of counting on you to educate people who are listening to this right now and watching this to kind of no, there's some good stuff out there when it comes to Japanese cards. I mean, how many sets do you think you probably have?
Just in the BBM series for pro wrestling, I probably I know for a fact I am only missing the 2004 set, which happens to have the American Dragon. Go figure. That is really the only one I'm missing out of the BBM run of complete sets.
And we're talking base or also all chase?
Base and inserts.
Okay.
I do have a pretty good quantity of autographs and some relics, but you never see them for sale anywhere.
What is you would say in your experience for Japanese cards? All of them, for most people, I think, are somewhat difficult to acquire.
Yes.
But what would you say is probably been the most difficult for you to acquire? Just as a pure release.
Something that's pack inserted.
No, not even just a single card, like just an actual release, like, for the whole release, like, oh, that 2011 set was pretty hard to come by.
The 2004 BBM set it's next to impossible. I think I have a total of like 35 singles.
Oh, wow.
And that's in 4 years of searching. They just don't come up.
Why do you think that is? Is it people, you think collectors are holding on to that?
I have seen discussions where people have said like the 95 set was huge, popular, so popular they reprinted it in 97 as a factory set, but they did put a second print line that says right underneath the card. 96 still popular. 97 it started winding down. 98 was less. 99 was less. So the popularity was winding down. So it's why some of the singles you don't see as often as the early ones.
Which I find amazing because you start getting to 98, 99, wrestling's at its peak here in the States.
Yes, but in Japan, if you go through the timeline with the Inoki with his New Japan and his Inokiism, and he wanted more of a fighter style. It's so they kind of leaned on some MMA guys to shoot fight with them, and popularity wise, they're bringing in people that aren't necessarily wrestlers, and so that trajectory of being popular, the interest starts winding down, and they're not selling like they used to. So of course everything goes related to each other.
Sure.
So then, well, we're not going to print 1,700,000 cards today. We're going to only print enough for 10,000.
Yep.
And so interest is less, and that's where we are today these days with the cards. I mean, it's nice that, occasionally that you get a new release that shocks you when you wake up and you're doing the daily search. You're like, what's this? A new set? Oh my goodness.
How often are they putting out sets now in Japan?
Because
Because I mean, here in the States, as you know, we got WWE and has many releases they want to put out. It's like, how are we we can't afford to keep having all these sets, as we're just getting sort of like saturated with too many sets.
yeah, they're still doing the women's wrestling, the True Heart.
True Heart.
They do that once a year. New Japan, their last set was 2016.
Oh,
They just released last month, actually a month ago. They came out with a new set called Rebirth, but it's not traditional trading cards. It's more along the lines of like gaming,
oh, okay.
which is along the lines of the King of Pro Wrestling. Those are more of a gaming card, which just happened to have a lot of people's first cards released because, again, there's that delay in releases and
Sure.
yeah.
It's always the case, though. I mean, in gaming aspect, that seems to be popular even still. Like even in Topps has got their Slam Attacks, which is outside the United States as a game. It's still kind of popular, like in the UK and other countries, stuff like that. But here in the States, people collect it strictly from a collectability standpoint. And now they're kind of blending the two together. Like you have the Slam Attacks game. There's autographs now involved, and it's like for the first time. And so they're kind of like trying to get both, markets together, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know.
Trying to get everybody to purchase them as opposed to just gaming people or card people.
Do you think they're doing that in the Japanese market too?
No, it's still more towards the game because they promote it as a game. They don't promote it as trading cards.
Well, originally they promoted Slam Attacks as a game too, not trading cards. It was all a collectible card game,
Yeah.
CCG. So I mean, I don't know. If they start throwing in autographs in there, it's like that. Now they're also bridging the gap,
Yeah, I would love for them to put autographs in it, but it hasn't happened yet. Other than
sure, oh, go ahead.
they have hollow foil facsimile autographs. They have gold and they have what they call a rainbow. They look really sharp, but again, they're not regular autographs.
So in your pursuit, like what does it take for someone like you who's going out and doing, that's kind of your thing. It's like I like to collect the Japanese trading cards, wrestling cards. You probably have like a certain way about it. Like how would I word this? Like, so I'm sure you need translations. You need to find obviously sources, and I'm
Sure.
sure you probably have established those by now. It's like
Sure.
that as far as sources. I mean, is there a whole process involved in getting this, like as opposed to getting stuff in the States?
The nice thing is the favorite tabs and everything that you do your daily searches with, and then when something pops up, you're like, oh, okay, I'll save it on that website, and I'll be like, okay, is it an auction? All right, cool, it's an auction. I'll watch it. The worst part, I will say, the auctions in Japan. If you place a bid within the last 7 minutes of the auction,
It bumps another 5 minutes, right?
Yes, it resets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got to be kidding. Like somebody could throw a bid and it's still underneath your bid. It still resets the clock. And I'm like, I'm the high bidder. Stop doing this.
Yeah.
Like it's nerve wracking sometimes.
I've actually done that about 5 months ago. I purchased my first using some, different. I don't want to reveal a whole lot like that because I'm sure people don't want to reveal their sources and how they go about buying. But I'll talk to you about it off air. And I got some really cool set that's like it's all lucha stuff, but from Japan. which was really cool.
Is it the CMLL set that they did?
I'd never seen it before. I think I shared with it on Twitter once. I don't have it handy right here now, I don't think.
It was a
But
complete set though, correct?
it was a complete, as far as I know, it was a complete set. It's actually in the box behind me. For those who like my drawer of wonder, there's nothing in here this time. It failed me. Yeah, I used it once, and then of course, you buy it from some place at the auction, and I saw
Yeah.
that it's like someone had placed a last minute bid, even though I was still the high bidder.
Yeah.
It reset the clock. I'm like, I'm chomping it. Like, don't do this to me. Did I win it or not?
I don't have another 7 minutes to wait. Come on.
And then it's I won it, and then it goes off to a center, and then I paid them the shipping, and then they ship it out to me. It's like that, and I got it. Probably in less than 2 weeks. It wasn't that bad.
It's not bad. Nowadays though, with the world shutdown, they only do certain shipping options, and it's not worth it to ship one package. So it's
no, you want to you can have them hold it, I guess, and just keep piling up stuff to make it worth your while.
Yeah, my packages are like 10 to 15 to 20 packages in one box, so it makes it worth it then.
How often are you got packages coming in, as far as like, how often you got cards coming in for Japanese stuff?
I'm probably averaging a box a month.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it is, but the wife sees it. She's like,
no, not another one.
Yeah. Hey, check the mailbox. I think they're going to be dropping off. Why is this huge box sitting on the porch?
Why is it sitting on the porch? Yeah. My wife, I get little envelopes like that. Just another Kurt Angle card. I'm like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, that's when I really get yelled at. Is what's in there? I don't. You don't even remember what you ordered.
Yeah, I know what you ordered. It's like that. Like, well, how come when I ask you what you spent, you're like, I don't know. I don't remember what.
Yeah.
But it's just it's interesting markets like that. I remember years ago I would get my hands on a few Japanese wrestling cards set, maybe like partials, obviously.
Sure.
And I still have some like Fighting Beauties and some True Hearts maybe, but nothing really substantial, I don't think. And it's like 2004, 2003, 2000, that era kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I always had a hard time for WTC. We always had a hard time trying to find someone who can translate these cards for us, because there's no place for me to go online to find at the time. Now I could probably go and do it, probably a Google image type thing and have it translate. Maybe, I don't know.
It's even going through Google Japan, there's not a lot out there for as far as like checklist. It's all, it's you piece it together basically.
I'm really hoping that we can work with you to get collectors educated on stuff on the site, because that's kind of always been a sore spot for us is stickers, and which it's not really, we never really cared about stickers too much because it's not really cards.
Yeah.
But
a lot of first appearances on stickers nowadays.
Exactly. I'm learning that in the last couple of years. Got nothing to do during the pandemic, but figure out what's going on with these cards, and figured that, hey, if that's what collectors want, they want to see checklists for that, then as long as someone's providing information for us, I have no problem putting it out there and creating those pages like that. So finally getting to meet you and getting that information will be really crucial and important for collectors to kind of know, hey, I like this stuff. I got to go try and find some.
Yeah. It's it's out there, but it's not really out there. I mean, it takes some digging, and it comes in spurts. You may be looking for a card for half a year, and it finally pops up with 4 other cards that you didn't know existed, and you're like,
take them all.
yeah. My wallet's taking a hit this month.
I'm sure, but then you get someone like a Husker has, and Anthony's probably going to want to start including a lot of that stuff for his site eventually.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean,
he's got feelers everywhere. This whole planet, he's got feelers everywhere, different parts of the world, to find him singles.
Yeah, as you with the email I sent you about the 20 sets of Bushy Road King of Pro Wrestling, that checklist, I started it 2 years ago. I saw the cards and I was like, this is amazing. It's got Kushida's rookie card in it, and I'm like, okay, this is wow, this is great. Start looking for checklists. There's nothing, nobody. Your site didn't have it. any other checklist sites that I was looking at, I'm like, does nobody know this has been out like almost 10 years and nobody has a checklist? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the work, I guess. And I
See,
started.
you're kind of feeling my pain back in late 90s, early 2000s. I'm collecting cards. I'm heavy collecting the cards, and I'm finding things at either a local card shop or at the time getting on eBay. And I don't know what this is from. I'm going to buy it, and there was no information about it anywhere. And so I just started archiving my collection. That's what WTC became.
Yeah.
And now we live in a world that's a bit smaller because there's so much information on the internet. Yet there's still a lot of stuff missing. And
definitely.
And then we find a guy like you, within, you're a niche within a niche,
yeah,
which makes it even harder, And so to find someone like you who's put the hours in and the labor in to go out there and get the information, stuff like that, and say, hey, I have it. Here's, and to share it is awesome. It's just, it helps the community and the world. And it also helps, knowing that grading companies now are looking for information out there, and
sure,
we're lucky enough to have them, referencing our website to authenticate things. It helps people who like, hey, I want to get this graded, Yeah,
definitely. It's, the resources have to be out there. I mean, I'm sure there's probably people that don't know that, like I was saying, Kashida's rookie card is from 2012, not the NXT from 2018 or 2019.
Yeah.
It's like, he has cards like 7 years prior to that, guys. Everybody, take a look.
Well, look at Nick Yates like that. He had a couple cards in the last couple of years. So it's 2018, 19, and some of these indie ones like, oh, these are rookie cards. Like, no. He has ones like 10 years ago.
Yeah, and it doesn't even look like him now.
No. But it's him. And it's like it's just and I love that. That's what I get the most joy out of, is actually getting that information out there so people can be like, wow, I didn't know this like that, or this is so cool, or like, I got the information from your website. And obviously we're going to add you to the contributors page, of course, like awesome. That. And then I can't wait to start working with you on more of these checklists. I got your first one spreadsheet, and I do have some questions about it. And I kind of know, like, when you're putting RC next to certain names, I go, oh, okay, he's noting these as rookie cards. I got to take those out because we don't
you don't put them on there. Yeah.
But I think I got kind of your code in there a little bit. But I look forward to start getting most of the stuff put up there. And like, I started a checklist today you sent a checklist this morning.
Yeah.
And
I finished it this morning. Yeah.
And I go to put it up there. I go, wait a second. We already have this partial one put up there. So I gotta just copy it, put it over there, delete this one now. It's up there now. It's like that. And eventually I hope to, get images at the very least. You put them in 9-pocket sheets, scan them at high resolution. That works great. But at the very least, I would love to get, at least for now, to get an image of, or a couple images to choose from that to use as a featured. So there's something that shows a sample of what that looks
like. The key
like.
card of that set. That would be really cool.
Yeah, whatever you want to put, it's great. I mean, so when I do social media posts, it shows a little image of it as a sample, and they can go right to the checklist and check it out. It's like that. But yeah, it's just what an interesting market out there. And I'm sure other markets, like, I'd love to find someone in South America too, who, handles the Mexican markets like that, because there's such great stuff down there.
Yeah.
And then you got stuff all over, like in Europe and God, I mean, until I saw that one and Husker have, I mean, I didn't know there was stuff in Russia. I mean,
the Russian stuff kind of looks bootleg though.
It does look, and I have in my drawer. So I was like, it does look a little bootleg. It's like that, but I'm like, I don't care. I gotta have it. It's Kurt Angle. I gotta have it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that one right there. There you go.
Yeah. It looks like it's a copy of a copy.
Yeah, almost. And so like there's the back, it's just like a generic, I go, okay, but you know what? It's a card. I got to have it. We live in an age now where any Joe Schmo can create a cards like that. And just copyrights, and don't even get me started on that. So that's a whole episode, just discussing and having a roundtable session about copyright issues and C&Ds and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. But it's so cool. So I mean, is there anything that you know of that's coming that's going to be like, I can't wait till that comes out? Or how do you find out about upcoming releases for Japan?
Just looking on the web, really. It's not like it's a big announcement that, sometimes maybe one of the bigger dealers out there will put an advertisement a week before they come out. Hey, we're going to have this product. And it's like, oh, what's this product? I got to look up more. You can't find anything until release day. And then it's like, oh, well, they're
strange. They don't even give any notice of any kind.
No, it's not like they put a big press release on it. It's just, it's like, yeah, they don't even think about it. It's like, whatever. It's coming out. You'll find it.
So outside of base sets, because that makes me think about something else now. You're kind of making me think about something else. So do they not do like promotional sell sheets? Do they ever make those? Because I know like I used to carry an adult product when I was doing some stuff called Juicy Honey that came out of Japan. And I was the first guy in the lower 48 that carried that in the States. And I had a connection from Hawaii that would connect into Japan. And then when people saw like, oh, these are some cool cards, like, and some of them are actually wrestlers, by the way, became wrestlers.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two, but most of them were like, Japanese porn stars. But then people saw I was making good money on something. It was an expensive product, but they had sell sheets for that. They had advanced sell sheets.
They don't. The newest New Japan product that came out, there wasn't a sell sheet, but they did have a poster to hang up in like stores, because it's more geared towards a retail base. The packaging, kind of like the what are those hanger packs?
Sure, yeah, okay. Sometimes they call them hanger packs or gravity feeds and
gravity feed. There you go. Yeah, it's kind of what the style of the box looks like.
Do they ever do promo cards for Japanese card sets?
This set actually does have a promo card. Tetsuya Naito has a promo. It's numbered 0001, 3 zeros and a 1, and it's PR for promo.
Is it a new card set coming out or just came out?
It just came out. It came out September 17th. It was released.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. You keep all the detail records.
I actually just got my shipment in the other day. I don't know if you can see it. It's
nice.
Jay White rookie card. It's his first card.
So that's the gaming card you're talking about, right?
Yes, that's the back. It's nothing except it's the game name of the game. That's it. That's
front
all it is.
Do you have any idea how that plays?
They actually do have a tutorial online. Obviously, I'd have to translate all of it, but I mean, it does walk. It's not that many steps in it, so it doesn't look too bad. But that's where you get, like, with them having gaming cards, you take a chance, especially if you're buying them older. You don't know if they've been played, and so if all the corners are worn, and they love to use black borders. So if it's a black border, and it's been played,
it's the same as like with WWE Raw Deal here in the States.
Yeah,
it's hard to find cards that are minty mint, or in good condition, because people play them.
Yes.
Even if you sleeve them, they're still getting shuffled and they're getting played. So it does, affect the card if it's looking for something to grade. But it's just so cool that they actually have gaming cards out there now too. And is there anything coming out for 2022? That's what I was kind of alluding to.
I haven't seen anything.
You wouldn't know anyways, because they don't tell you. So
believe me, I've asked for New Japan cards and there's nothing. I mean, they're missing a market, but I mean, if that's as close as we get, then I guess I'll take it.
You got to make connections, man. Get an airline ticket, go fly out to Japan, make those connections and say, listen, I'm going to be your guy here in the States like that. Hook me up.
Believe me, if they open up Japan again, I would love to go back.
So you've actually been there?
Yes, I got to go to Wrestle Kingdom 12, which was Omega and Jericho, and Naito and Okada in the main event, co-main event.
Did you go check out the card scene there while you were there? Do you want to call it that?
It's funny because I walked around, but I obviously, translating and reading, I didn't know that there was a card shop literally like 2 blocks from where we stayed until I got back home. And I'm like, oh, we were right there. Like I was placing an order for cards and I'm like, I could have just picked them up. They were right there.
Now you got to go back and clean them out.
I would love to.
Yeah. I'm sure your wife wouldn't like that, but it's cool. So it's very educational to find out more information about Japanese cards. Like I said it before, man, David and I, Porto, the co-owner, we've been looking for someone for a long time that can either translate or help, facilitate checklists to us in some way, shape, or form. So I'm so glad to finally meet you and be able to,
appreciate it.
Hopefully go forward with getting that. I'm looking forward to adding more and more of that stuff and hopefully getting some of the stuff that we have incomplete more complete.
Yeah. I think I submitted a while, like maybe a month or two ago, when you said you're backed up, and the 2000 New Japan set that's I think Future B.
Okay.
It has some gaps in it, and I sent you an email or contact us thing
Mhm.
with all the missing numbers and who they were.
I think you sent a couple, actually. You sent a couple ones, and I did fill those in.
Okay.
Yeah, those got filled in. It's like
Yeah.
that. And I gotta do better now of because the way the site works now is when you add a new blog, it's a blog. So I had a new checklist. It shows up in the latest update section.
Okay.
But
perfect.
if I make edits to something, that doesn't show up over there.
Okay.
So I have to manually put that in the body of the. So like, hey, I just updated this, updated that, updated this, and so I got to be better at that. And I think with these Japanese sets, it's important for me to be on top of that.
Sure.
So as I get the information from you that fills in some gaps, I'll be happy to go in and make sure I put that up there and say, hey, updated, check it out.
Definitely.
So, but so as we start making some more headways like that, we can revisit again, maybe get you back on again. And I know you've been really helpful with Chuckster too. I mean, Chuckster's been getting a lot of stuff from you.
Yeah, I seen that he like posted, and I was like, hey man, what do you have in Japan cards that you're, what do you have as opposed to like, send me what you got. And he sent me his list of what I have, and I'm like, well, hey, I have this. They're all extras. And he's like, well, what are you asking for it? I throw him a number, and he's like, okay, I'll take them all. So I was able to help him find some stuff that he was looking for quite a while.
And I think he might have gotten some of those checklists from you that we put up for stuff.
I think he did. It's cards.
I think through you, and then using was it Joshi City as well.
Yes, he's the True Heart guy. He knows all about the True Hearts.
Yeah. So I'd love to get him on someday. One day, get you both on.
He's closing his shop though.
Really?
Yeah. His online store is closing. I think he's still gonna blog, but his online store is, he's doing away with it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Maybe I should reach out and see what he's got inventory wise. I'm not into collecting. It's like that. I just only be using it to. I'll be honest. I'm fully transparent. I just be getting to sell. I don't.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. I have no interest in collecting it as an actual item. I rather have the information. I'd rather have guys like you feed my brain with info.
Yeah.
That I can turn around and put on the website. So
definitely.
But I appreciate you making some time, man, and talking about some of these Japanese wrestling cards. It's such a cool, interesting market, and I think that collectors should kind of pay more attention to that because there's, like you said, there's some really cool rookies, first appearance, whatever you want to call them, that are hard to come by, and I think probably should command some decent change if you're looking to invest.
Definitely. The right now, I would say the 2004 American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, that same set is Asuka's rookie card too.
Ah, really?
And yeah, you don't see that card pop up at all. So that's definitely in some collectors' hands, not moving.
It's a great thing about wrestling. We've talked about it on some episodes before, that it's something different about wrestling collectors, that card collectors, is that once you have something that you're out trying to go after, it's really hard to budge that out of someone's hand.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to let go of it. Even if you're not a diehard, like, I'm not a big Asuka fan, but I know this is a rare card. I really don't want to part with it. And so you don't really see them hit the market very often.
Yeah.
They want to sit on it.
It's not like you're getting, if I can get a second copy, maybe I'll move one, but it's like, what are the odds of finding a second copy?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard odds finding the first one.
Exactly.
But I appreciate your time, sir. And, hopefully we'll get you on again and maybe do a roundtable session about different people's experiences about Japanese cards. Excellent. Or hell, even I'd like to get someone from, for Japanese cards, someone from Mexico, someone from somewhere else, and talk about how you guys all, get your cards and that market, because everybody's different, man. It's great. So yeah,
that's the fun part of collecting.
So anybody who wants to get in touch with you, possibly, I mean, how can they follow you?
My Twitter's at @rvelligan. Same as the Instagram, @rvelligan. My eBay store, which, don't laugh, my store name is Barbie Freak. Long story. Yeah.
That is a whole different episode, sir.
Yeah, you can just contact me if you're looking for something, and I'd gladly help you out and see what I could find for you.
Yeah, go check out Barbie Freak and see if he can help you with the Japanese cards, man. I mean, this guy could at least point you in the right direction if you need something. But And it's for us, WTC, everything can be found on wrestlingtradingcards.com. For this episode, like, comment, share, complain, whatever you want to do about it. It's like that. Just engage, man, engage. Let's talk and get people talking about wrestling cards. Just put it more out there in the forefront. And I think we're in for some big stuff coming up. I think we're just the beginning stages of our explosion for wrestling cards.
I think wrestling cards are the last market to take off with this, everybody jumping on the cardboard train, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, just look at by the time we recording this, Topps Chrome just came out, and people are like surprisingly clamoring over that really well. So like that, I thought people would be kind of holding out for AEW, but that's going to be crazy as well. So
yeah, well, the prices already with the box prices,
I'm so glad I locked in at my $99 a piece. I got a whole case at $99 a box.
Yeah, that'll be something probably to sit on for a couple of years.
I think so. I think you're right. I think I'll sit on a couple boxes.
Yeah.
But So thank you again, man. And until next time, I guess we'll do it again.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Right. Everybody, we are out.